Today we're going to be talking about 10 things that you need to stop doing in the morning. Number one, stop checking your phone immediately. Why? Because you get onto the phone, 2 minutes of social media turns into 27, and now you've wasted a good chunk of the day doing the most unproductive thing you could be doing. You should be doing the most important thing at the start of your day and building momentum, not tearing it down. Same thing goes for email, inboxes. You don't need to be reading random emails that you haven't opened yet, not knowing how important they are. They could be spam, they could be minor requests, and now you're going down this rabbit hole of stuff that doesn't need to be done. Do something useful to build momentum. Read a book, do some push-ups. Something other than checking your phone at the start of your day. Come on. Item number 2. Eating an unhealthy breakfast. Now, Tim Ferriss talks about this a lot. He says, if you eat a high protein breakfast, it causes you to lose weight, cause you to feel less hungry. And you might be like, oh, it's so hard. I skip breakfast. I skip breakfast too. I struggle with that. Oh, it's not easy. It's just, I have no healthy food in the house. Well, clear your house of unhealthy food and buy some easy, healthy, at least somewhat tasty foods. Bananas, oranges, avocados, blueberries. Get something. Not all of it has to be all this like unhealthy stuff. Get rid of all these carb heavy foods like bread, toast, cereal, stuff with sugar and stuff. That's not gonna, you really think donuts and all this coffee stuffed with sugar and cream is going to be the breakfast of champions? No. Get rid of that stuff. Number 3, hitting the snooze button repeatedly. First off, that's a sign that you're out of your REM sleep cycle and you probably didn't go to bed early enough the night before. It's your body telling you, hey, I need more sleep, but you can't get it because you didn't give yourself enough time. You didn't go to bed early enough the night before. And now you've kicked yourself out of a REM cycle. You're not going to get back into it anytime soon. But I read a book by Jocko Willink. He wrote Extreme Ownership. He's a Navy SEAL. And this guy gets up at 4 a.m. every morning. In fact, he has an Instagram and he posts a picture of his watch with the time each time he wakes up to hold himself accountable. If you can do that, you can find some way of waking up on time at 9 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. Number 4, being negative. Do you start off your day complaining, pointing fingers, saying how the world sucks, thinking, dwelling about all the life obstacles you have, how inconvenient life is, how you burnt your toast, how poor you are, how you missed the bus, how you don't have this or that, or if you were richer or if you had this, then life would be better, and just dwelling on how it sucks? That's not a good way of building momentum or starting a day. The words in your mind and that come out of your mouth turn into how you express yourself, your actions. They turn into your thoughts, your mindset, your beliefs, the garden you cultivate in your mind, and it turns into the energy that you put out. And guess what? If you put out bad energy, you're going to attract other negative people who aren't succeeding in life, who will mope with you and then like just tear you down. So instead, try and be positive. Yeah, there's all sorts of things that are not perfect, things that kind of suck, things that aren't going to work out the way you prefer. I've been there, But that's how the world is. And by staying positive, focusing on what you want, you can focus and attract better things. Otherwise, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You've given up before you've even started. Number 5, having a messy bedroom, a messy place where you're working. Now, I'm guilty of this too. I did a whole challenge where I tried to make my bed every morning for 30 days. I did a video about it. And Navy SEALs talk about making your bed every morning because you're building discipline, you're starting your day with an accomplishment, and you're building momentum. This is your workstation. This is your battle station. This is your operational headquarters. And if it's a mess and you're having trouble finding stuff and you're wasting minutes, hours, seconds every day looking for stuff because it's buried under clothing or hidden somewhere, and there's all this junk and trash and random stuff on your desk, Like, I'm not gonna lie, my desk is kind of a mess right now. I gotta work on that. I do. I gotta work on that. And it's cleaner than it's been in the past. So you need to work on it. I'm working on it. And I'm telling you, if you want to set yourself up for success, your workspace has to be immediate. It has to be ready at the start of the day so you can just get right into work. It can't be holding you back or pushing you around or causing you confusion, man. Number 6, planning your day. So you shouldn't be starting your day trying to plan your day and figure out, oh, what should I be doing? That should be planned the night before. You need to just get into the day knowing what's most important and what to do. You shouldn't be caught in a reactive state rather than a proactive state. You shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, what should I be doing this morning? What's important? Oh, I got to map it out. This is just a suggestion, but I think at the end of the previous day is when you have the most on your mind. You remember what still needs to be done, what's most important. You've finished most of the other stuff. It's still fresh in your mind. So that's when you go ahead and you map it out. You plan the day before. And so when you start the next day, you don't have to even put much brain power in it. You can just go, zoom. Some people like to do this because it builds accountability, and they're already starting their day feeling like they're accountable to a plan. Okay, number 7, starting your day looking at celebrity gossip, news, or the media. Hey, newsflash, most celebrity gossip, news, media is focused on the negative, the scandalous. And if you just watch that, you consume that, you're going to get this unrealistic, overblown perspective of the world as this terrible place that's super dangerous, that where bad stuff is always happening to people and the world around you. Because that's what sells headlines, that's what gets views, that's what makes them money. So they sensationalize it, and that's mostly what they put out. But, you're looking at a very skewed set of stuff, and you're starting your day in a negative way once again. So I don't really do that. If there's anything important, chances are your friends and family are going to tell you anyway. Now, some people, they still like to check the news. So if you have to, just check it at the end of the day, not the start. 8th thing. This is about getting up at different times every morning. There has to be consistency there. If you're waking up at 1:30 p.m. on the weekends and then 8 a.m. on the weekdays, that's not a good thing. I took a masterclass at masterclass.com from a sleep scientist. And he's telling you there's no difference between the day. You need to have a consistent wake up time every day. If not, that's a red flag. It's a sign that you have what he calls sleep debt. Sleep debt is when you basically owe a lot of sleep to your body because you've been deprived of it. And sometimes that gets due on the weekends when you don't have work or school, but that's still a big sign that your circadian rhythm is out of whack. So have some consistency, have some control, start to wake up on time, figure it out. It's not a good thing. So number 9, have a lot of ramp up time. People who have a lot of ramp up time, as in they get up in the morning and they say, I'm going to be out of the door in 10 minutes. And then 37 minutes go by. They're not even close because they had to get dressed, shower, brush their teeth, cook and eat breakfast, put on their shoes. Then they're watching stuff on social media, on their phones, and all this other stuff goes by. They have to go to the bathroom, take a dump, and then all of a sudden it's like 46 minutes in and they're still not out the door. If you have ramp up time, factor it in. Don't be that person who's like, oh, I'm going to be up and ready by 6 a.m. and it's 6:47 and they have all this ramp up time and they're disorganized. It just shows a lack of mastery and control and understanding about their time management and productivity. If you know it's going to take you 17 minutes on average to go to the bathroom, because that's when you always go in the morning, factor that in. Know when you will actually get out the door, plan for it, tell people about that. And that's just really important. I'll give you a story. I remember one time I woke up late for work. This was many years ago. it was already 10:30 a.m. Turns out I slept through my alarm clocks. I went to bed just like maybe 30 minutes, an hour later than I usually do, but I guess I had sleep debt. I drove to work. I got there at 11 a.m. I was embarrassed, maybe even a little ashamed. I felt guilty. I felt terrible. It didn't make me look good to my boss. I apologized many times. And I vowed I needed to fix this. I needed to improve. You can't let that happen to you. And when you have sleep debt, when you have inconsistent things like ramp up time or stuff that you don't really plan for or prepare for, or designated times when you need to go to bed by, and you enforce that, you're in trouble. And then number 10 is setting too few alarms and failing to wake up. So this goes back to my previous story that I just mentioned. But instead of it being about ramp up time, because I referenced how, some of the time it took for me after I woke up to actually get out the door and get to work, it's also about the fact that I didn't set up enough alarms, I didn't go to sleep early enough, and I didn't wake up on time. So if you're missing the alarms or not even noticing them and waking up late, that is going to cost you. Like I've said, and I want to emphasize, there are smart, talented young professionals who are failing to show up on time on a consistent basis. They're unreliable, they're late, even though they're talented and smart. And guess what? People notice. People fire these people. People give up on these people. With a little effort, I think you could put all of these into practice and you can succeed. Thanks for watching. If you like, bop that like button. If you loved it, hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video. Let me know in the comments what you want me to talk about next.